There is a simple truth most of us learn very late in life. Not everyone who enters your life comes to stay. Some come to teach, some come to test, and some come to drain. We often believe that being kind means holding on to everyone. But real wisdom teaches us something deeper. Being kind also means knowing when to let go. Life teaches us many lessons, but some lessons come quietly, through experience, through exhaustion, through moments when you sit alone and ask yourself, why do I feel so drained even after giving my best? Over time, you begin to understand a gentle truth. Not everyone who is part of your life is meant to stay there forever. Some people walk with you only for a season, and holding on to them beyond that season can cost you your peace. There are people who connect with you, not because they value you, but because they need you. They come to you when life is heavy, when they are confused, when they need emotional support or motivation. You listen patiently, you help sincerely, you give without keeping count. But slowly you notice that when you need a listening ear, when your heart feels tired, they are nowhere to be found. This is not friendship, this is dependency. Giving is beautiful, but constantly giving to someone who never gives back will slowly empty you. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it is necessary. Then there are people who bring restlessness into your life. Every conversation feels heavy. Every meeting ends with complaints, blame, or negativity. They always see what is wrong, rarely what is right. After spending time with them, you don't feel inspired, you feel unsettled. Peace is a very delicate thing. Once disturbed again and again, it becomes difficult to restore. You are not responsible for carrying someone else's emotional baggage at the cost of your own mental health. Sometimes distance is the kindest decision for them and for you. And then there are people who quietly disrespect your values. They may not shout, they may not openly insult you, but they make you feel small for choosing discipline, kindness, honesty, or growth. They mock your efforts, question your intentions, and slowly make you doubt yourself. When you start adjusting your values just to be accepted, you lose touch with who you truly are. Anyone who truly cares for you may not agree with every choice you make, but they will respect your right to make it. Letting go of such people does not mean you lack compassion. It means you have clarity. It means you understand that love without respect becomes burden, and connection without peace becomes noise. Life becomes lighter when you stop forcing relationships that no longer align with who you are becoming. Remember this, you don't have to explain your boundaries to everyone. The people who matter will understand, and those who don't understand were never meant to walk the full journey with you anyway. When you choose peace, you don't lose people, you lose confusion, you lose exhaustion, you lose the weight that was never yours to carry. Choose relationships that nourish your soul, not drain it. Choose people who celebrate your growth, not resent it. And most importantly, choose yourself, because when you respect your inner peace, life begins to respond with clarity, balance, and quiet strength. There comes a point in life when you realize that peace is more precious than being right, more valuable than winning an argument, and far more important than keeping everyone happy. In the beginning, we believe that if we explain ourselves enough, if we stay patient long enough, people will eventually understand us. But maturity teaches a different lesson. Not everyone is meant to understand you, and that is perfectly okay. There are people who constantly pull you into unnecessary conflicts. They question your intentions, twist your words, and turn simple conversations into debates. You try to clarify, you try to justify, you try to prove that your heart is in the right place. But the more you explain, the more exhausted you feel. Some people are not looking for understanding, they are looking for reaction. And every time you engage, you pay with your peace. Silence, when chosen consciously, is not weakness. It is wisdom. Walking away from an argument does not mean you lost. It means you valued your inner calm more than your ego. When you stop responding to provocation, you begin to understand how much energy you were wasting trying to control things outside your control. Not every battle deserves your participation. There are also moments when you realize that being right does not heal relationships. You can have the strongest logic, the clearest facts, and still lose connection. Because relationships do not survive on logic alone, they survive on empathy, respect, and emotional safety. If proving a point repeatedly costs you your peace and your warmth, then perhaps that point is not worth proving at all. As you grow, you start choosing calm conversations over loud explanations. You listen more, react less, and observe carefully. You learn to respond only when your response can bring clarity, not chaos. This does not mean you suppress your truth. It means you share it only where it will be received with openness, not resistance. Peace comes when you accept that you cannot change everyone. You can only choose how much access they have to your thoughts and emotions. The moment you stop seeking validation from those who thrive on conflict, you feel lighter. You realize that your worth does not depend on winning arguments or being constantly understood. True strength lies in restraint. It lies in knowing when to speak and when to step back. When you choose peace over proving a point, you create space within yourself for clarity, creativity, and compassion. And in that space, you begin to grow. Life feels simpler when you stop explaining yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you. Let your actions speak. Let your silence protect you. And remember, inner peace is not something you find outside. It is something you choose again and again, even when the world invites you to fight. In life, one of the quietest yet most powerful decisions you will ever make is choosing what you will no longer tolerate. We often believe that letting go means giving up on people, but in reality, it means standing up for who you are. Self-respect does not announce itself loudly. It shows itself through the boundaries you maintain, even when it feels uncomfortable. There are people who slowly cross your boundaries, not in obvious ways, but in subtle moments. They dismiss your feelings, ignore your limits, and expect you to adjust every time. At first, you excuse it. You tell yourself they didn't mean it, that you are being too sensitive, that adjusting is part of love. But over time, constant adjustment becomes self-betrayal. When respect is missing, love begins to feel heavy. Respect is not about grand gestures. It is about how someone speaks to you when they are upset, how they treat your time, and how they honor your values even when it is inconvenient. If someone repeatedly disrespects what matters to you, they are showing you where you stand in their life. And believing their behavior is wiser than believing their words. Many people stay in such connections because of fear of being alone, fear of disappointing others, fear of starting over. But staying where you are not respected slowly erodes your confidence. You begin to question your worth, your choices, and even your identity. No relationship is worth losing yourself. Letting go in such situations is not an act of anger. It is an act of courage. It is choosing long-term peace over short-term comfort. It is saying, I value myself enough to step away from what diminishes me. This decision may feel painful at first, but it creates space for healthier connections to enter your life. When you honor your values, you teach others how to treat you. Some people will rise to that standard, and some will fall away. Both outcomes are necessary. The people who truly belong in your life will never ask you to compromise your integrity to keep them comfortable. As you grow, you realize that self-respect is the foundation of all meaningful relationships. Without it, love becomes control, care becomes obligation, and connection becomes confusion. With it, even solitude feels peaceful. You are not here to fit into places that require you to shrink. You are here to expand, to grow, and to live with inner alignment. When you choose self-respect, you choose clarity. And with clarity comes a quiet confidence that no external validation can replace. Remember, walking away from disrespect does not close your heart. It protects it. And a protected heart has the strength to love deeply, wisely, and freely when the right people come along. Your life is too valuable to be lived with people who don't value it. Your heart is too sacred to be shared with those who misuse it. And your journey is too important to be slowed down by those who refuse to grow. Choose peace, choose growth, choose yourself. Because when you protect your energy, life begins to protect you back.